everyone, welcome to this week's Pilates class. So today you may be needing a overball to complete the class today. You don't need an overball for all the exercises. You can do every single exercise without the overball, but if you do have one at hand at home, it's always good to use for a little bit of inner leg activation, but I'll explain more about that as the class goes on. You won't need it for any of the main Pilates exercises at all, just for a couple during the warm-up. Make sure that you're fit and well to participate in the class today, and make sure that you stay hydrated. Cotswold Pilates take no responsibility for any injury that has occurred during this class. Hope you have a great day, guys. Take care. Make sure I've got everything ready and then we'll make a start. Okay, so I've said that we can use the overball in the warm-up today. You don't have to have a Pilates ball for this. You can do all the warm-up exercises without the Pilates ball, but sometimes it's just quite nice to use it. We're going to use it in between our ankles and in between our knees, in between our thighs, just to have a little bit of activation through there. But you don't need to use it if it feels uncomfortable for you today or anything like that. Or if you just don't have one at all, if it's not, if you've lost the stopper or anything, you can still do all the warm-up exercises without the ball. But we're going to just pop our hands in front, shoulders back and down with a nice long neck. Just to start, let's just check in with our bodies today and how they feel. They might feel a bit tired, they might feel a bit stiff or sore or tight. They have slept funny, they have a bit of a crick in the neck. I had a crick in the neck at the beginning of the week. It was horrible. Let's tuck those shoulder blades down and round into those back pockets. Let's just make sure that we've got that equal weight distribution between that big middle of the big toe, middle of the little toe, and round the back of the heel. Keeping those knees soft. Keeping those ribs soft. Just making sure that we try and avoid puffing it out like a bird. Nice long neck. And as you elongate the neck, you'll find that your chin will just have a little tiny tilt down. Let's just take a nice breath in. And breath out. And again, big breath in. And breath out. Last one. And out. Pulling up on that pelvic floor, taking the breath in as we bring the arms up towards the top, passing the ball to the top and over to the other side. And again, you don't have to have the ball in your hands. You can just bring those arms up and back down again. So big breath in as we bring the arms to the top. Breath out as we bring the arms back down. Breath in. Breath out. And again. Let's go the other direction. Arms up. And again, we're not looking for a massive stretch. We're just looking for that kind of mobilization with the arms in the shoulder sockets. Up we go. And back round. Lovely. 2 more, and then we'll go into some shoulder rolls. This is our last one coming. Up we come. Down the other side and going into those shoulder rolls. So just loosening off the arms a little bit. Lovely, nice. Big shoulder rolls. Let's go the other direction. So if you're going backwards, we're now going to go forwards and vice versa. Lovely. Okay, settling down in those shoulder sockets once more. Let's bring that ball up so that it's just in front. We've got that deflated beach ball look in front of us, nice soft elbows. Having a little check, making sure those feet are still in parallel as we go for a nice little gentle spine twist and back. We're going to stay with the same side today. And then we're going to go into some nice little tightrope work. We're just going to go with the spine twist today. Rather than the spine stretch, we're going to do a nice gentle lateral stretch after this. Last 2. And 1. And again, you don't have to use the ball. You can just bring those arms in front. Okay, let's bring our right leg and we're going to place it behind. Okay, so we're walking on a tightrope. Now, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So you can bring your feet closer together, but if that's too wobbly for you and you have too much of the wobbles, you can bring those feet further apart or you can bend the knees. Okay, you can do a combination of both. You can bring them further apart and bend the knees if you want to. But what we're trying to do is just to make you a little bit stable, but offset a little bit and a little bit wobbly. So that's when we keep pulling up on that pelvic floor and those abdominals. So once you've got yourself in this position that you're happy with your tightrope, we're going to do it again. We're going to do 8 little gentle spine twists. So really pulling up, lengthening through the crown of the head, lengthening out of the pelvis. As we go round, 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Woo! Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's bring that ball down. Let's give ourselves back into parallel. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Again, working within your range of movement as we go round. So again, I'm just going to drop my ball because you don't have to use the ball if you don't want to. This is just for people that don't have the ball. Okay, 2 more after this. 7. Last one. 8. Okay, bringing that left foot behind now. Having a really good think about how you're going to make yourself stable. You might want to bend your legs a little bit, bend your knees a little bit. You might want to bring that foot a bit further forward. See how you get on as we go back round. Now you'll find that there's one side that you can do a lot easier than the other. All right. So this side to me is just slightly less wobbly for me. Woo! Just slightly though. Okay. She says, now I'm starting to wobble all over the place. Last 2. And 1. Beautiful. Let's bring that ball down if you've got it. I'm just going to hold my ball again. And bring yourself back into parallel and we're just going to have a little squeeze of those legs. So if you do have a ball, we're going to place the ball just above the knees and we're going to give it a squeeze. Now what we're trying to do here is activate the inner thigh, okay? But if you can't, it doesn't matter, as in if you don't have a ball, you just keep those legs in parallel, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do our little foot series, some squats and some heel raises, and if you do have the over ball there, you can, you've got a bit of extra activation that's going on. But we're still working on the legs anyway by doing our squats. But first of all, we're going to just do our heel rises. Can we rise up and lower? Rising up and lowering down. Keeping a squeeze on that ball. Well done. And squeeze that ball as much as you can. Last 2. And 1. Brilliant. We're going to do 8 squats. And up. 2. Squeezing. So almost as you come up, give that ball a squeeze. Well done. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Lovely. Let's go up for 1 and then squat for 1. Okay. Lovely. Again, just working within your range of movement and what's good for you. Okay, we're then going to go into our little foot series in a second. So let's just do one more. Ooh, we had a wobble. Let's just do one more. So then we're going to go squat down, heels up, stand up, heels down. Now, if you have had enough with the ball and it's making you a bit too wobbly, you can just take it out. It's fine, because we can just do our foot series as we normally do. All right? but it's quite good at keeping those legs active while we're doing our foot series. Lovely. Last two, and then we're going to go the other way. Last one. Okay, so then we're going to go heels up, squat down, heels down, and up. Heels up. Lovely. Heels up, squat down. Last two coming up. Last one coming up. Fantastic. Well done. Okay. Let's rise up onto the balls of our feet, nice and slow, and then we're going to drop the right heel down. Let's raise up onto both balls of the feet, drop the other heel down. And again. Nice and slow. Now this is about control and balance, okay guys? Rising up, lowering down. Now you can start bringing in your opposite arm and making it more of a reciprocal movement, or you can bring in your toy soldier arms. Really doesn't matter. Take the ball out from between your legs, just make it drop onto the floor. Obviously when we're doing our walking, it's a little bit more difficult with the ball. Lovely. We're slowing it right down today, thinking about control. It's an awful lot harder to keep that movement going than when we're going at it hammer and tongs. Okay, lovely. Bring both arm and heel down onto the floor. Fantastic. Okay, so let's have a think about some glute work today. So we're going to be going into some scooter. So, haven't done scooter for a little while. You don't need the overball for this one. So I'm just going to pop it here ready for when we go down onto the mat. Okay, so nicely bent knees, slight bend forward. So I'm just going to go sideways so you can see exactly where my back is and my bottom is. So I'm going to slight bend in the knees, slight bend forward from the pelvis. So if you can see, my nose doesn't reach too far past my knees, okay? So we've got a nice steady base. Bringing one leg up, doesn't matter what side it is. Weight bearing leg, weight going into the heel as we scoot backward and forward. Now you can either slide or you can tap. It's up to you. 4, 5. We're going to do 10 going backwards and then 10 going sideways. I'm going to move my cushion in a minute because I keep stepping on it. Okay, I'm doing my last one now. So then we're going to go sideways. We're going to go side and back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep weight, get that leg into that weight bearing into the heel. Should get that glute and the quad nice and warm. Last 2. And 1. Brilliant. Slowly come up. Oh, release that leg, give it a good pedal. Well done. I'm going to come up. I'm just going to leave my cushion. I'm going to stay forward for this next one, just so that you can see exactly what's going on. So again, slight bend in the knees, slight bend of that back, just so that you've got it supported, but we're not too far over because that's where we're going to run into back problems, okay? So slight bend forward, so we've got nice and support. We're going to push back for 1. Weight into the heel. 3, 4. Keep going, we're doing 10 of each. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Scootering out. Well done. Keep that weight into the heel. We want those glutes waking up. 4 more. Last one. Fantastic. Oh, bring yourself up. Give those feet a pedal. You might just want to do a little bit of salsa hips if that helps you loosen off. Whatever your body's telling you to move, just to release off the hip and the bottom there. nice little stick out to one side usually helps me, but you do what you need to do to release off. Okay, brilliant. So we've done some scooter on each side. We're now going to open up these hip flexors a little bit more. Okay, so again, you've got two choices here depending on how your balance is today. You've got the choice with clam. You can either keep the ball of the foot on the floor as we open up into our clam, or you can bring the foot onto the leg and you can open up, okay? So it's up to you which one you want to do today. If you find yourself wobbly but you still want to put your foot on your leg, you can always find a chair to hold on to. It doesn't matter. The last two coming up. She said, oh no, I've missed the last one. There we go. It's too busy chattering. Not concentrating on my balance. Bad instructor. Right, okay, let's go and open up these hips on the other side. So again, you've got those two choices. I think for my sake, I'm going to keep the ball of the foot on the floor today on this side. Otherwise I'm going to be keeling over. But you can pop it on the calf part of the leg if you want to. Lovely. Last two coming up. Just gently opening those hips. Brilliant. Okay, bringing it down. And again, just give yourself a little release off if you need to. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to spend our last exercise just doing a bit more weight bearing on this leg. Okay, so we're going to do our side leg lift. We're going to do 6 repetitions on each side twice, so 4 alternate sides. Okay, so again, hands on hips so that you're nice and well balanced, taking the weight over onto one side and pointing that left foot. Now really think about your posture with this exercise, okay? It's very easy, and I'm going to turn sideways for people to want to do this, okay, because they feel like they're more balanced, but you're going to have an awful lot of strain in that back. So what we're trying to do again is do a little bit like what we do with the scooter, so that we're nice and balanced, nice soft bend in the knee, and a slight tilt with the pelvis, hands on hips, so that you're nice and balanced before we start, okay? If you pull yourself up super tall, it's great for alignment, but also as soon as you lift up, you might want to balance, imbalance and wobble over. So let's give ourselves a nice sturdy base. Start off on a good foot. I think that's the phrase, isn't it? So again, making sure you've got a nice soft knee, slight bend from that pelvis as we lift for 6 on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to change over. Make sure you're balanced first before we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and change. Well done. We've got one more on each side to do. Try not to counterbalance. Over we go. And once more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brilliant. Over we come. Back to centre. Little sumo wrestler styley, I suppose. Okay, let's bring ourselves down into some roll downs now. And again, working to as far as you're comfortable to go. You might feel quite stiff in the hamstrings this afternoon. That's okay. Just work with what you can get, what you can do. We're just going to do 3 roll downs, and on the 3rd one, we're going to bring ourselves down safely onto the mat and onto our backs. Okay, so taking a breath in and breath out as we bring chin to chest. Down we go. All the way down. Feeling that all down that back chain, really opening up and stretching. Big breath in there. And use the breath out as you bring yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping that chin tucked into the very last moment. All the way up, resetting the shoulders. And again. Down we go. All the way down. Working within your own breathing and your own timing, however your body feels today. Okay, resetting those shoulders. We're going to do it one more time. And we're going to, as we go down, once you get to that point where you want to tip your pelvis and bend your knees, we're going to just bend those knees. And we're going to make ourselves down into all fours. And then bringing ourselves round and lying down onto our mat. Okay, so we're going to go into a little bit of pelvic stabilisation work. So this is all quite low level exercises, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to trick the pelvis. Okay, so normally, excuse me being all like relaxed and looking like I'm on a beach, normally we'll do 8 to 10 repetitions of something, be it single leg stretch, hip twist, scissors, you name it. But this time we're going to do 1 repetition of 3 different exercises, because the pelvis then and your abdominals and your core has to kind of almost change and increase in kind of, what's the word? Contractibility. So it obviously has to engagement, yeah? So it has to increase its engagement as you change direction and where that limb is going. Okay, so we're just going to do a little single leg stretch just to warm up and just get our bodies stretched out a little bit. And then we're going to go into a little bit of a series of a single leg stretch followed by a hip twist out. And then we're going to do 4 single leg circles in single leg tabletop. But we'll go through that once we've finished our single leg stretch just to warm up. So find yourself down onto the mat. Find yourself comfy. Okay. Find that neutral spine, bringing those feet up towards your sitting bones. Feet hip width distance apart, and just have a little check-in with those ribs this afternoon. Are your ribs nice and soft? You might just want to do a little sigh. Get those ribs nice and soft on the mat. You've got that pelvis, that bowl of water in a nice neutral position. You can give yourself a little rock back and forth if you need to. Just for a bit of spinal mobility, because it's always nice to have a little back massage, but also just to find that in-betweeny spot. And if you've got a head cushion or a towel, just checking in just to make sure it's in the right place. So you've got that nice neutral chin before we even start. Okay, so we're going to start off with our single leg stretch. As we do our go through the levels, just pick a level that's right for you today. So we're going to start off with just our single leg tabletop into our little single leg stretch. Now, if that's fine for you today, so I think I'm going to sneeze. No, it's gone. If that's fine for you today, stay here and I'll let you know when we're halfway. If you want to do double leg, remember, engage the powerhouse first, gently lift that leg up into double leg tabletop. And you can do your alternate legs stretching away. All right. So if this is fine for you, you can stay here. If you want to do your little reciprocal movement with your hands supporting that tabletop leg, please feel free to do so. And then lastly, if you want to do that little abdominal prep, looking up towards those toes that are stretching out, then that's your last level. Okay. So you've got lots of levels to choose from. You don't have to do them all. Find the one that's comfortable for you. So you're halfway now. So if you are doing a single leg, a single leg stretch, if you know what I mean. Swap over. Okay. I'm going to go back down to my little alternate, pushing the button on the wall and bringing it back. Exhale as you press the button on the wall. Inhale to bring it back. Really keeping that powerhouse engaged. The slower the movement, I find, the more control it needs, personally, for me. So my abdominals are really speaking to me as we push away. We're nearly there. We're going to do 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Now bring those knees into your chest if you want to, just to release off. Only if you want to. Before we come down and we bring one leg down onto the mat at a time, ready for our little sequence. So I'm going to show you with my left leg, because that's the leg that's closest to you, so you'll be able to see it a little bit better than the leg that's facing towards the back of the room. So we're going to do 3 different moves. So we're going to bring one leg up, switching on that centre as we bring ourselves away, pushing the button on the wall for a single leg stretch, bringing it back. We're going to then bring it out for a hip twist level 3, and then bring it back. We're going to keep that leg in tabletop as we do 4 nice single leg circles. Now your pelvis is going to have a right old time with this one, okay? Because you're making it go in different directions and it's having to stabilise in different ways. So that's when you need those lower abdominals to really engage so that you can stop that pelvis from rocking back and forth. All right? So we're going to do that another 3 times and then we're going to swap over onto the other side. So let's stretch away and back. Hip twist and back. Keep those abdominals engaged. Circling for 4. Okay, and again, pushing away, hip twist, and also paying attention to your supportive leg too, because again, it might want to counterbalance as you go out into that hip twist. It might start wobbling a little bit, so just pay attention to that supportive leg as well. We've got 2 more to do. Remember, it's like a windscreen wiper, that hip twist, yeah? So it's not just the knee that drops out, it's the knee and the ankle. And again, you don't have to do a lot of movement, just work within your range of movement for these, okay? It's not a big move. What we're trying to do is trick that, those abdominals, that pelvis. Because it thinks, oh, okay, we're going to do single leg stretch for a while. That's fine. But actually, we're doing it a little bit out of sync from what our brain is used to. So keeping everything engaged, stretching out, last one, hip twist, and then round we go. 2, 3, and 4. Lovely, let's float that leg down. Let's bring the other leg up. Again, just paying attention to how your body's feeling right now. So just soften the ribs if you need to. Just have a little think about the neck. And then we're going to go into our 4 cycles again. Hip twist out. And then circles. So if you're really clever, unlike me, you'll remember which direction with your circles that you go, and maybe do 2 lots in one direction and 2 lots in the other direction. But because I'm a bear of very little brain, I sometimes get a bit confused. So don't worry. We're looking for the nice smooth circles. Okay, we can always do different directions another time. Lovely. Okay, we've got 2 more to do. Hip twist out. And our circles. Keeping that neck nice and long. Keeping that pelvis. And you can always put your fingertips on your top bony parts of your pelvis. Really good indicator whether you're leaning or rocking and rolling. Woo! For me, this seems really hard today. I'm really having to keep those abdominals nice and tight so that nothing else moves, especially my supporting leg today. Okay, let's float that leg down. Brilliant. Well done. So hopefully you've managed to trick your pelvis quite successfully as you've been doing those moves. We're then going to do some nice full leg circles, just to kind of just balance things out and just to stretch those hamstrings a little bit. So if you can, bring one leg up. Now, it might be that you only get to 45 degrees. That's okay. If you can lift it up a little bit more without flattening the back, that's great too, okay? So we're just going to do 4 circles one way, 2, 3, 4, and the other way, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fantastic. Just floating through tabletop, back onto the mat. And again, it's just a nice little stretch for the hammies. 2, 3. Now my left one, I'm really aware that I'm rolling, so I have to really keep those abdominals engaged. And you can see that I can't bring this leg up as high as my other one. 3 and 4. Ooh! Down through tabletop, onto the mat. Fantastic. Okay, let's roll over and we're going to do some sideline work. So you have an option today, and it is only an option. You do not have to do it, okay? You can do all your sideline work today lying down with little cushion in between head and arm, or if you want to get those glutes fired a little bit more productively today, a bit more quicker, now that's not correct English, a bit quicker, you can bring yourself up onto your shoulder. Now, if you've got any kind of side issues, rib issues or anything like that, I suggest you go down onto the mat, because just in case it's too much to keep this kind of stance when you've got a leg in the air, okay? So if you've got any kind of side issues or tummy issues, I would say down onto your side and head on your cushion, okay? Again, if you've got shoulder complaints, if your shoulder doesn't like it, if it's too much on the shoulder, slide down, okay? This is just an additional option. It's not something that you have to do. Bottom leg's going to stay bent today. Top leg's going to be straight. If you are up on your shoulder, make sure that you pull right out of that shoulder and that your elbow is in line with your shoulder and your arm is facing directly forward towards you, and make sure that your hips are facing forward and you're not rolled back. As soon as you start rolling back, that shoulder is going to roll back towards the back of the room as well, okay? So in order for the shoulder to stay forward, pop your hand in front. Up, leg nice and hip height, and we're going to sweep forward, and we're going to come back. Sweeping forward, kicking back. Now, if you start this and you think, do you know what? No, absolutely not. Bring yourself down. It's okay. We're still going to be working the glute just as well. It's just that when you're on your shoulder, you get a little bit of shoulder strength going on, and you get those glutes activated a little bit quicker. All right. Okay. I'm going to bring myself back up onto my shoulder, just as an alternative. Okay, we're going to do 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one. And we're going to keep it at hip height. We're going to do 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Changing direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now keep it there. We're just going to do little movements up and down. 3, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, bring it forward, slide down onto the floor, even if you are on your shoulder, because that's where the next exercise is going to be. Lying down, bring that leg up, give it a stretch, and then just gently bring that lower leg and stretch it out on the floor. And we're going to flex that bottom leg, ready for our little lift and lowers. Give yourself a minute just to give that bottom a thump if you need to, as we lift the bottom leg up and lower it back down. And again, let's not neglect this top hip, yeah? Let's glide it down towards our toes, and that will really help us. It will make the movement smaller with that lower leg, but it's going to engage that inner thigh muscle a little bit more. Okay? Lovely. We're going to do 3 more. Lovely. And with our last one, we're going to keep it up there, and we're going to do our same little up and down. So it's not pulses, it's not bounces. These are controlled little moves. So up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And that's when you're really going to feel it inside of the leg, yeah? Right at the top by the hip. Last 2. And 1. And relax. Well done. Fantastic. Okay. So let's roll over onto our tummies. And we're going to stretch out those quads. So you don't need your cushion. Okay. We're going to roll over onto our tummies. And we're going to pop our hands down in front, ready for our single leg kicks today. Because I don't think we've done single leg kicks for a while, so I thought we'd include them today. So forehead on your 4 hands, okay? Any shoulder complaints, you can always bypass this movement and pop your head on your cushion and put your hands down by your side if that's more comfortable from a shoulder point of view, okay? Always find what works for you. So we're just going to do a nice little kick up towards the bottom. Alternating sides to start with. Left and right, up towards the bottom. Making sure you're pressing that pubic bone down into the mat. As you do so, just to make sure the bottom half of that back, that lumbar spine, is nice and protected and safe. Okay, let's do our point, flex, point and lower. We're going to point, flex, point and lower. You can do a little hip lift on the way down if you want to. Lift and lower. So the choice is up to you. You can just do a straight lift and lower. A straight lower down if you want to. Or you can lift from the hip and lower down. Point, flex, point, lift and down. It's only a small movement from the hip. You won't feel like you're hardly moving it at all, but you do feel it stretching out the backs of those legs. Lift and lower. Point, flex, point, lift and lower. 1 more each side then, everyone. Brilliant. Well done. Okay. Gently bring yourself up into child's pose and just stretch out, just because we've been in a little bit of an extended position. So if you're happy to, just bring yourself up safely. Now you might just want to do a little cat curl if that's what you want to do, or you might want to come all the way over into child's pose just to flex that back off. Couple of nice deep breaths there. And then in your own time, bringing yourself over onto your other side, nice and safe. Again, making the decision how you want to do your side lying work today. So you might want to lie down all the way onto the floor. Okay, you might want to bring yourself up onto your shoulder and give yourself a little bit of shoulder strength. So it's completely up to you. All right, just do what you think's best for you today. Just check if you are with your shoulder, checking in that you've got the hips forward, shoulders forward, bringing that leg up to hip height. I'm going to slide down onto the floor for this side personally, just so I can show you the alternatives. Lovely. Remembering that we're exhaling as we're sweeping forward. Flex the foot, inhaling back. Pointing that foot as we sweep forward, flexing the foot and bringing it back. Lovely. And the only thing that's moving is that leg. That once we get to a stage with the hip, that we're starting to rock and roll, that's our bite point. That's where we stop. Okay, 2 more, guys. Lovely. Keeping it there. Keeping it there. We're going to do our 4 circles one way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Changing direction. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do our little up down motions. So up, down. So we're staying within that kind of hip height movement, but we're just doing little movements rather than bounces. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Bring it up. Let it relax and let's straighten out that lower leg. Okay, fantastic. Flexing that foot as we lift it up and lowering back down. Lifting up and lowering. Lovely. And again, we're thinking about the exhale with the movement. So let's exhale as we lift. Inhale to lower. Keeping that hip, that top hip gliding down towards the toes. And that will really help with your spinal alignment. Keeping that nice little gap between yourself and the mat. Got your little army of ants. Able to march through there. Okay, last 2. And 1. Beautiful. We're going to keep it at the top there for our little movements. Up, down, up, down, up. Lovely. Got 8 more. Last 2. And 1. Lower down and relax. Relax, relax, relax. Whew. I quite like that little movement at the top there, just because it really focuses on those muscles right inside the top part of the hips, yeah? So let's roll over again onto our tummies and we're going to push up into a 4-point kneeling position, ready for a nice cat stretch, okay? So just however you're safe getting into that 4-point kneeling position, you might want to roll over onto your side, push yourself up into sitting and then get yourself up into 4-point kneeling, however's comfortable for you. And again, in 4-point kneeling, there's alternatives here too. So if you've got wrist issues, make your fist, or you can have your feet at your feet. No. Again, with the anatomy dyslexia today. Hands, and then we're going to bring ourselves into that 4-point kneeling. Okay, so again, we're just going to mobilise that spine. So we're going to lead with the pelvis. And what I mean by that is, let the pelvis tilt first. And as you tilt the pelvis, that whole spine will start to dip. And then you can bring your head to look towards the side of the room. Again, tip the pelvis first, and as you tip that pelvis, that back is going to start to arch. Then the head's going to come down, chin to chest. And again, being mindful not to lock out those arms, okay? Because I'm a huge culprit of elbow locking, so I have to be very careful, which means I have to make sure that you are very careful. I always thought it was an easy thing to do. As in, like I always thought, oh, it's just my body's way of being like a kickstand, yeah? I can just lock it out and just stay there. I don't have to think about it. That's what I used to think when I was younger. But not now. Unless I want joint replacements by the time I'm 45. I think I need to be very careful with locky joints. Okay, last one coming up. Nice and gentle today. Beautiful. And tucking in. Fantastic. Tucking those toes under. We're just going to do a little bit of shoulder strength to finish, and then we're going to do, and then we'll stand up and into a little standing stretch before we finish. So again, we're just going to do our leg pulls. So tucking those toes under, just making sure again, nice soft elbows and not locked out. Looking down at the floor, between the space between the thumbs, taking that breath in to prepare. Exhale, lifting the knees off the mat. Inhale to hold. Exhale, lowering back down. Again, inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Nice and controlled, guys. Breath in to prepare. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Last one. Uncurl the toes, sit back, take the weight off the wrists. It's a long time to be on the wrists. Give them a good rotate. We're going to do 4 more and then we're going to bring ourselves up into standing, okay? So just give them a nice little rotate. You might just want to kind of go round, back and forth. Okay, you may want to go onto your fists for the next lot of 4. It's completely up to you how you feel. Okay, bring yourself back into that 4-point kneeling. Breath in, exhale. Inhale to prepare, that's it. Inhale to hold, and then lowering down on the exhale. And again. Two more, well done. Nice flat back for us this afternoon. Last one, let's not spill those drinks. Lovely, uncurl those toes. Sit back, give those wrists a rotate, and however's safe for you, we're going to make our way up into standing. Lovely. Well done. Whew. Giving ourselves a little bit of a shimmy. So because we've worked those arms and those shoulders, let's just release them off a little bit by a little arm stretch. So let's rotate the head over in the opposite direction as we bring one arm over the chest. We're not pushing back with this arm, we're just gently holding it there, okay? I just want to make sure that we stretch out those upper parts of the arm. Down we go, nice little couple of shoulder rolls, and then over to the other side. Lovely. Bringing it down, nice little shoulder roll there. Just gentle sway from side to side just to release off the back. Again, being mindful of the neck. It's very easy for us to kind of want to slouch towards the end of the session. We're tired or warm, so really pulling up out of that. There we go. Just gently releasing off, just working within your range of movement. Okay, lovely. Just gentle squats. Oh, there goes my foot. Oh, there goes the other one. I don't know whether you can hear it, but certainly clicky feet today. Okay, last 2 and 1. Lovely, big breath in. Exhale away. And again, big breath in. Exhale away. Last one. Hold it there and exhale away. Well done. Good job. Fantastic.